What's up, everybody? I'm Steve and welcome to Hammerdown Motorsports, and today, well, we're going to be doing another ZL1 mod on the Camaro SS. So let's get it out and let's get started. Okay, for anybody wondering what we're going to be doing, here it is. The 2017 ZL1 upper grille featuring the Chevrolet bow tie, Flowtie. Now, ordering the part and getting everything, that was not an issue whatsoever. The only thing that is difficult about doing this job is this entire piece now needs to come out, and the only way it comes out is if you remove the entire fascia front plastic of the car. And from what I hear, it isn't too bad, but all in all, I'm a little bit nervous about it, but there's only one way to do this, and that's just to get it done. Well, as luck would have it, the second that I start getting the car apart, it starts raining, because that's what happens every time I try to do anything. So I'd really like to have a shop to work in, and my garage is just, there's just not enough room to move around it and things like that. So basically, I'm just going to do it in the rain. All right, briefly, I just want to go over a few of the locations for the bolts. I have all these top ones already removed. There's actually a black strip that goes along here, and I took it off because you can see all this grunge and grime, because the dealership just lets these things sit outside, and that's what ends up underneath the plastic and ends up rubbing over time. So I wanted to take that off so I could clean that. And yeah, you've got a bunch of bolts up top here. There's one little Christmas tree kind of push pin that goes on that side. Then these plastic pieces just pop off here. And so that's your top half. Okay, as far as the inner fender goes, there's a bunch of screws that are in here. And this inner fender is actually pretty pliable. It's not plastic, it's kind of like a fiber material. And just basically take as many of them out as you need to be able to get this guy free. There's a bunch underneath. You got to take that little this little piece here out and remove that so you can get all that at all the bolts, and just kind of pop it out of place so you can move this nice and freely out of the way. And what we have here, up in this spot here, there's a little plastic piece where there's 3 7mm bolts. And up here, there are 4 7mm bolts kind of just running up and down that arch. And that's pretty much all there is for bolts as far as this side goes. And then what you've got is a wiring harness here. And there's a connector that sits right on top of this metal piece. And you just remove, or just push back the little red lock piece on this connector. Then you're able to push in the tab and disconnect that. And the only wire anchor basically is this guy right here. You can see it sticking through because this piece stays with the car. So you want to pull this off, and then this whole entire wiring harness will come with your entire front fascia. So I'm gonna go get the other side apart, and hopefully everything goes well. Okay, before we pull this guy off, I just wanted to take everybody underneath here. A little view of what we got to take apart here. There is a 10 mil here, 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 and here. These ones in the middle actually stay because this whole underside little belly protector kind of thing is going to come with it. So let's yard it off and see if we can do it without damaging anything. Well, everyone, we got it out in one piece. Now we're just gonna have to get the little upper grill out here. And from what it appears, it just kind of sits in here with these little clips. They're actually molded to the bumper. So now it kind of just gotta work these out of their fixed position and kind of get those out of the way. One thing I did do is I have a screwdriver with a decent sized handle, and once I started to get the outer ones released, I shoved this in here to kind of keep that pressure as I work the other ones towards the middle. This side here I already got loose. So now what we're going to do is just keep this pressure on this side and go top to bottom and just keep pulling and working these clips so they pop out of place, because this is all kind of holds the structure of the bumper together, so it doesn't really want to let it go too easily. There we have it, folks. We got it out. Now we got the two grills here. As you can see, kind of the webbing, or I guess whatever you want to call the design inside the grill on the SS is a little bit more tightly woven, and they kind of opened it up on the ZL1. I think the anniversary grill actually kind of follows this same kind of pattern. You see so little of this, it really isn't going to matter. And I think it looks awesome the way it is. And if one day down the road I want to change the lower grill, I can, but I think the one that's on there right now is the one I'm going to stick with. That's the one that gives the look that I wanted the most. Alright, we got our new grill, ready to put it in place, and now I'm going to try to not speak too soon and hope that this grill goes in easier than it came out. What I did find is going on this side of the grill, you can kind of see the tabs underneath and get everything in its place, because it's hard to see from the back. You can get all the top ones just kind of ready to go into their clip location. You can see the ones on the bottom too. Just make sure that nothing is overlapped in a way that's not supposed to be. Just go around a couple of times too, because I noticed some of them I thought were in, and then when I went around a second time they did snap in all the way. So okay, double triple checked, everything looks like it's in its place. Alright, I just popped this piece in here. It just kind of slides over these little tabs on either side of the grill. Then you got these little tin kind of clip things that just pop over top of that. Alright, at this point I kind of wanted to go through just the helpful hints and stuff like that of going through this job for me, and giving you the things that I would tell anybody that wanted to do this. First of all, when you're going back on, I mean, you can do this yourself. It really was not difficult at all. The only part I would really watch is here, just to make sure that you're not going to have any issues with, you know, popping up and scratching your fender, but it is plastic, so it is fairly forgiving. And I mean, obviously this line isn't perfect yet because all these bolts in here are still loose. So basically what I did, I got everything in place. There's actually a little pin that kind of keys the fender with the front fascia right there. This side, same deal. We've got everything in its place, just the bolts are loose. And what I did on the top here, these are the plastic pieces I was talking about earlier. And this is the little push pin that kind of goes in over here. Now, when you move this bumper into place, this hole will line up and you're able to get this one in. That's why I recommend taking this off, because then you're going to have everything pretty well in alignment before you start putting screws and tightening them down. And also, underneath here, which we saw the ugly dirt that was in there. This is a chance where you can clean that all out and get that away, because over time, from this thing moving with this engine running and all that kind of stuff, you're going to wear this paint off, and nobody wants to do that. So basically, I'm going to pop this little pin out of here, get this guy in place. Just these little slots kind of pop into these grooves. So everything is basically where it needs to be. I'm going to start by putting the front bolts in here and getting the front of this and moving outwards, so we can keep everything nicely symmetrical. Nothing's going to be stressed. Everything is nice and relaxed as we tighten this whole assembly together. Another tip from me is all the bolts that I took out of the left side I put in one magnetic tray, and all the bolts I took out of the right side I put in another magnetic tray. So if I ended up with an extra bolt, that's 50% of the real estate I don't have to look for when I know what side it's going to be on. Alright everybody, here it is, the 2017 Camaro SS with the 2017 Camaro Flowtie. Now, if this is the look that you're going for, you kind of know how to do it. It's not the easiest job in the world, but nothing that's ever worthwhile is ever easy. So don't let fear and common sense stand in the way of you ripping apart your new car. But here it is. Well, that's the Flowtie install on the 2017 Camaro SS. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more exciting things happening here at Hammerdown Motorsports, definitely subscribe. We have many more things happening, and we're going to greater heights, I might say, for the next episode. So stay tuned for that, and keep that hammer down.